There's nothing more annoying than applying for a job and you get a response back 2 weeks later saying, "Thank you for taking the time to apply, but after careful consideration, we won't be moving forward with your application." The only thing worse than getting that email is if you had to create a Workday account, spend 10 minutes just making it, answering the questions, and then you get that same email. I'm sure I'm not the only person that has questions. If everybody's hiring, then why am I still jobless? I have applied to over 350 jobs over the last 3 months, and I can say I've only gotten 4 interviews. And out of those 4 interviews, I made it to stage 2 out of 2 of those interviews. One interview, I'm not even sure why they interviewed me. The other 3 were just okay, but at the end of the day, I didn't get a job. And looking back at the percentages, 4 out of, I would say, 350, it's like a 1% chance of me getting a job. And I just have to question, is it me? What is it? Is it my resume? Is it my skin color? Is it a lack of experience? What exactly is it? And why is it so hard to get a job that I'm going to eventually hate? Before we dive deeper, I want to say that my name is FlexingIV. Please be sure to follow me on IG. And in this video, this is episode number 1 of a brand new series that I'm very interested in starting. I feel like this is a very unique way of getting my message across. What is my message? Well, my message is that I'm a regular human being and I'm just like you. I'm sure there are plenty of people that are going through the same exact problems that you're going through. And in these videos, I just really want to go over how I plan on overcoming it. And just to let you know, you're not alone in this world. And also, do me a favor, comment on this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like the video. And if you want to see more of this type of content, go ahead and subscribe to this video. I want you to watch this video and press subscribe so I can see exactly how many people enjoy this style of content, because I feel like it's very interesting. A lot of the gameplay I'm going to be posting is games that I grew up on, games that are never coming back. Literally the prime peak gaming, which is never coming back. So that's just a life lesson. The past is the past and it's not coming back, but you can still enjoy it in unique ways. All right, so let's get back to it. I applied for 350 jobs in the span of 3.5 months. I only got 4 interviews. Let's look at the bright side. How did I get those 4 interviews? Well, I applied for close to 10 to 15 jobs per day. Now, what type of jobs was I applying for? Go ahead and get your pen and paper out. Maybe you can apply for these type jobs. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did. I was applying for business development reps, sales development reps, one account executive role. I also applied for underwriting positions. I applied for claim specialists, insurance adjusting roles, underwriting roles, and then after those didn't go through, those were like career type roles. After those didn't fall through, then I started applying for regular customer service roles, just doing almost anything, and still was unlucky. The worst part about applying for that many jobs was the rejection. I'm not even going to lie. I'm kind of good at handling rejection. A lot of the jobs I was applying for were sales jobs, so it required, a lot of rejection. The thing about this rejection is that I just felt like I was doing so much work, applying for the job. I was answering questions. I was doing hundreds of work. It was just so annoying, because it was to the point where it's like, I know I'm not going to get an interview. I know I'm not going to get a job, and I'm still doing it, and I'm just getting the same exact result. So it was very, very annoying, very, very discouraging. But to those that are searching for a job, to those that are in, desperate need, you got to keep going. Like, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. Now, let's dive deeper into exactly, what I was doing to get those interviews. Let's look on the bright side. Now, I got 4 interviews. I had a couple jobs that were in good contact with me, and I'm gonna go over exactly how I was able to get those. I found success in going on LinkedIn, right? What I would do is I would apply for a job, and after I apply for a job, I would reach out to a hiring manager. Now, there's two ways of going about this. I paid for LinkedIn Premium. That's about like $24 a month. Not gonna lie, if you're not locked in for a month, if you're just applying for like a job a day, save your money. But if you're grinding, you're going crazy, you're applying to 10 jobs a day, you're messaging a bunch of people, LinkedIn Premium is the go-to. Now, what you want to do is, well, what I did was, for the jobs that I were getting responses back, what I did was simply I messaged them on LinkedIn. If I didn't get a response, I went on Google and I found their number and I cold called them. I put in the hard work to show them just how dedicated, just how out of the box I can go. And I got success. I got 2 interviews based off of that strategy right there. So, that's a separate approach. If you can find out who is actually making the decisions, then you can literally almost kick the door down and get your way into that field. And of course, it's not going to be easy. Of course, people aren't going to answer to a random call, but that's where dedication comes into play. Now that we're done with, applying, now let's go to the interview process. If I had to do a pie chart based on things that were in my control versus things that were out of my control, I kind of have to say I'll say 70-30. Like, I felt like I really went all out on these interviews and, I just didn't get the result that I wanted to. And some things happen for a reason. Maybe it wasn't meant that I didn't get those jobs, but at the end of the day, still need a job, So when it came down to the interviews, the things that I did wrong, there was one interview. It was for a business development rep down in downtown Brickell. And it was for a cool job. It was for a Web3 recruiting agency job. Now, the size of their office was literally the size of my room, and they wanted, 7 people in there. So that probably wouldn't have been a good environment because I want to day trade and then I'll work. But the office was extremely small. Now, for the interview, I have to say I was very, very underdressed. It was raining that day, and I'm in downtown Brickell, so I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be, suit and tie. I'm going to come in a little bit more casual. It's a sales recruiting job. They dress casual. The person that was interviewing me was in shorts, I believe. Now, my outfit, I was in jeans. I had on a collared shirt. I had on a jacket. It was like a hoodie, but it was more of like a casual jacket. And I had on some Balenciaga shoes. Now, I have to say, I don't think I got the interview based on my look. Now, I was presentable, but at the end of the day, I could have came in a lot more sharp, even if it was raining. So I just felt like I didn't pass the eye test out the jump. So ended up not getting that job. There was another job where I was pretty sharp. I literally learned from that past experience, and I dressed sharp. I was well prepared. A key tip that I do for interviews, basically, how when you're in an interview, they say, what do you know about the company? Well, I took the time to make a PowerPoint presentation, not only to show them that I know about the company, but I have my goals in line. That's another question that interviewers ask for some reason. I have no idea why, but they'll say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, I'm not going to be with you guys, but hey, so instead of me giving a 5-year plan, which is very far out, you don't know what can happen in 5 years, I basically gave them like a year plan inside of that PowerPoint. Now, for the first interview, they didn't even care. They was like, all right, cool, you got a PowerPoint, whatever, bro, get out. But the second one, they were like, yeah, let me see it. And I was able to go over it. Now, that was the interview where I was able to get to the second stage. And the second stage is a little weird, I'm not going to lie. It's like you do all this work to impress a few select people just for somebody else to be like, hey, tell me about you. I have no idea who you are. Give me the same rundown. And they're like it's like a different interaction. Like they ask in the same questions. And it's just like a weird, I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, I cannot get past the second interview. But I did learn from it. I would say the first interview is mainly like an eye test, like a vibe check. And the second interview, that's mainly to see if you're going to be productive, if you're not going to have people hold your hand. You have to really show that second interviewer that you're competent. And I felt like I did that, but I ended up not getting a job. So I guess I didn't do it well enough. So, hey, it is what it is. And I don't want to sound weak, but the emotional stress that brings, like, not only are you constantly getting denied through email from these applicants, then you're going on interviews, then you're getting denied. It plays a lot of stress on your brain. Like, you're tweaking a lot of things. You're like, is it my resume that's trash? Is it my interviewing skills that's trash? Is it my story that's trash? You're doing a lot of things that just mess everything up. Really, just that's the easiest way I can explain it, to be honest. And the advice I have to give on that is just be yourself. Whatever's for you is for you. I know that sounds very cliche. I'm actually tired of hearing it myself, but whatever God got for you, that's what he got for you. If he wants you to have that job, he's going to make it happen. So don't stress about it too much. Keep going. Don't give up. Please don't give up, because the day you give up, that's when you cook. Simple as that. That's when it's over. I'm not sure if you have people that depend on you, but use that as your motivation. If you have a girlfriend, I don't like to tell people to work hard for their girlfriends, but use whatever motivation you can find to keep going, because the time you stop, maybe that next day, that's when you would have got the call. And it ain't nothing worse than being 40 or 30, however old you are, 10 years in advance, and you saying, I wish I would have did this. I think you should take the approach as in, I'd rather have gotten rejected than saying, I wish I would have did this, because wishes don't come true. So that's my experience with trying to get jobs. Just going to keep on trying, going to restart the grind, get right back to it. If you've been watching my videos, then you should know, trying to get my real estate license, I've kind of got fed up with applying for jobs to the point where I kind of want to make my own income. I already do it with trading, doing it with YouTube. Hey, maybe I should start selling houses. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm all over the place, but I feel like I talked about things that I want to talk about. Get down in the comments and let me know what you all think about this style of video, about the topic at hand, what situations you may going through, because I may look at the comment, I may post a video directed straight at someone's comment. Like, let's have a conversation. So I feel like I achieved everything I needed to achieve in this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Please subscribe if you want to see more of these type of videos. It's your boy Flexing IV, and I'm gone.